killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month, I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
First thing we got to discuss. Jonathan Majors, and he was in the Cat Williams skit too. He made the news yesterday because he has dropped an interview. Sit back, relax, and we're going to talk about that interview right now. And in case you missed it, I do have segments of it. So let's take a look at it, and then we'll talk about what we think it all means.
Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened in my personal life, in my career, in the culture. It's about responsibility and coming forward and being brave and giving my part of the story.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked and afraid. And I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence, let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
But after only hours of deliberation, a jury of his peers agreed with prosecutors that he did physically injure his then-girlfriend Grace Jabari in an incident last March.
What happened exactly, do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious.
That 911 call from Majors came hours after an argument broke out with Jabari in the back seat of an SUV when Majors received a text from another woman saying, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabari testified that when she grabbed the phone, Majors tried to get it back, fracturing her finger and giving her a cut behind her ear.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face, twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't cause
I have no
them.
question.
Surveillance video shows Majors getting out of the car, followed by Jabari, whom he then puts back inside the vehicle. What happens next is what the defense remains focused on. Majors runs off, and Jabari chases after him.
If you watch those videos and you reverse that, and you saw a black man chasing a young white girl down the street, screaming and crying, that man is going to be shot and killed in the streets of New York City.
Majors' defense team shared these photos, which he says show the injuries he received that night, which were deemed inadmissible in court.
How were you injured?
My injuries were a scratch on my hand, from clawing for the phone. And I had a gash on my, at the time I had a beard. Under my beard, I had essentially a fingernail scratch on my cheek from pressure. And that bled overnight.
But prosecutors say Majors was the aggressor. District Attorney Alvin Bragg says the evidence presented throughout this trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse. In court, prosecutors pointed to a previous argument during which he knocked a candle to the floor.
I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. That's not something I would want my child to do. And I did that. I absolutely did that. And felt terrible about it.
The prosecution also played audio Jabari had recorded earlier in the relationship where Majors encouraged her to act more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
I'm a great man, a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the black community, as you're probably well aware, that people were saying, well, why was he telling this woman to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama?
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be. These great men, Martin, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that. One of the things I also say is I need her, in that case Grace, to make the same sacrifices that I am making.
In a statement to ABC News, an attorney for Jabari said in part, "It is not at all surprising that Mr. Majors continues to take no accountability for his actions," adding, "The timing of these new statements demonstrates a clear lack of remorse for his actions."
Do you feel you're not responsible for her injuries at all?
I shouldn't have been in the car. I shouldn't have stepped out of the relationship. I shouldn't have been in the relationship. If I'm not in the car, none of this is happening. If I leave the relationship, none of this is happening. If I'm man enough or brave enough to say, I want to see somebody else, or I'm done now, I'm not in that car. We're not here. I'm responsible for those things.
But none of her injuries.
I can't say that. None of her injuries.
Whew. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, after you get the sad news, you get the beautiful news. You get to see the lovely ladies of Life Gain up here, the Hammer and Lex. How y'all doing today?
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Well, Moochie, this is literally your story, kind of, sort of. So I'm going to let you start with it first. Just let me impart this kind of wisdom that my grandma used to always tell me. She said, boy, when there's two sides to the story, the truth is never on each side. It's in the middle somewhere. And I was like, Grandma, what the hell does that mean? Literally. Because if I tell you something that I know it to be true, then it's true. And if Joe Smo over there tell you something that he thinks is true and is not true, then he's lying. I'm telling the truth. And my grandma used to swear by people always skew stories to what they want people to hear. And in this Jonathan Majors thing, a lot seems to be skewed, Moochie, because they didn't let all his evidence get admitted in court. And her attorneys continue to say that this man is trying to dodge accountability when she hasn't been held for accountability. Why are you chasing this man down the block? You know, he is clearly saying that the scars on her body, she inflicted herself. That's what he's saying. He's clearly saying that. And Moochie, does this still mean that one of the most dangerous weapons in the United States living today is the harangudangs of an abused white woman? Floor is yours, Moochie. Uh-oh. Did we lose the Mooch? Okay, we lost the Moochie. So the floor is yours, Lex. Is the accused white woman still the most dangerous thing in America?
Ask Emmett Till. Oh, wait, you can't. Straight like
No,
that. Like, you feel me? Any woman, any person lying. A lie is just like one of the most powerful things that you can tell. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about little white lies like Santa Claus. Like, no, like lying can really get people killed. Look at the boy who used to play on Steve Harvey, Merlin, the black boy that died.
Right.
Romeo, the one that was Romeo. Girl lied on him and said A, B, C, D, E, F, and G happened. People went and shot him up. Like, come on. Lying is really not the wave. And especially if you can't help what race you were born. You know what I mean? But please understand, with certain ethnicities and races comes a certain extra amount of power. Now, whether that be social power, whether that be social status, whether that be physical strength, every culture is born with their own little niche. You know what I'm saying? And in a country that was built for people that don't look like you and I, for a Caucasian woman to lie on a black man, there you have it. Like, he's gonna be painted in a way, whether it's true or not. And in my opinion, like, who finna charge her for acting like she was Lolo and running these blocks? Like, you're antagonizing him at that point. Where's your charges? Is there anything on camera with him beating that girl, choking her out, scratching her up? I think not. So what are we actually doing right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we actually doing? Where is the evidence? But y'all have crimes where there's physical evidence, and then it's just, innocent verdict. Like, come on. But this is the country we live in. The U.S. of assholes.
Oh, Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When Lex come through, she come through Dracarys all the time, worse than Cat Williams. Ain't pulled no punches, you feel me? Just Dracarys the whole damn flyover country of America. So then, Lex, the question comes to this. He's been held to be guilty on some of these charges. Is it even worth his time to take her up on the charges that he felt like she has done to him? Because he's saying she scratched his arm, she cut his beard, or should he just try to turn the corner and move on from this and not worry about the damages that has happened to him? Oftentimes it comes down to a business decision. Do you want to spend the money going behind something like that? To try to clear your name, because at the end of the day, nothing he can do is going to get rid of the charges that he has. Should he just go ahead, turn the corner, and come back and be a better actor, or should he go after her for, basically assaulting him and anything he deems that she's lying about?
It's too late. You should have struck first. Whoever draw blood first is gonna hold that power. That's in real life. That's in shows. Hell, we go through shows all the time. We waiting for House of the Dragon to come on. The Greens done struck first. So is Rhaenyra supposed to now go back and say, oh, I'm gonna start a war to avenge? Your son would have been alive if you would have struck first. If you would have said something first, the narrative would have got painted a different way. You as a black man to sit there and go back and say, oh, this white woman attacked me and blah blah. It's too late. Take that L. Use that little Marvel money and figure something out, but it's over. Take that L. It's no point. Because at the end of the day, you as a community could feel a certain way, but now you're playing with legality in court and fees and money, and you already, you are the black man that told a Caucasian woman to behave as the activist of this whole situation is just, but you want my honest opinion from the vibe that I get from him, and I can be completely wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know him personally, but you want my honest opinion, is given, the black boys with the Argyle sweaters that used to play cricket and just had such privilege, and now you're dating Buffy and you're just this beautiful interracial couple, and now you just got reminded that you were Igga. And now you don't know what to do. It's, oh my God, the world is looking at me like exactly what you are, a black man. And they're looking at me like the stereotypes that are bestowed upon us. Are you welcome to being black? Hi, want a t-shirt?
Wow. Well, for his sake, ladies and gentlemen, I hope he can recover from this, become a better person. Megan certainly helped him by being in his corner. We can't even knock that. She definitely helped him. I mean, this could have been a lot worse, in my opinion, had she not been there in his corner to kind of give him some support and to be that sister on his arm. But even that enrages some sisters, because they was like, why you ain't pick a sister in the first place? Like he said in this interview, he should not have stepped out. And he also feels like he should have had the courage to end the relationship with her. So I think that's why some people don't even want to acknowledge and support him in this legal issue, because of that. And then you have some black folks that don't want to support him because he was with a Becky in the first place. But no matter what happens, we all want folks to have an honest and true trial when it comes right down to it, regardless of what those circumstances may be. And this just feels a little icky to me. It doesn't feel like this was the honest to goodness essence of what a real trial is like. And I would love to get Moochie's opinion. I think we've got Moochie back. Hold on, let me see if we got Moochie. Moochie, do we have you back? Testing.
My fairy YouTube godmother, come to me.
No, I don't think we don't have Moochie yet, y'all. We'll keep trying to get Moochie in on the conversation, even if we have to circle back.
Yeah.